Hi everyone, welcome to Podium Dynamics Academy, and I'm excited because today we'll be learning something very interesting, a part of public speaking that a lot of people don't seem to want to pay attention to, but it is very, very vital. So guys, if you are watching us on YouTube, I'd like you to click on the subscribe button so that you can get notification of every new video that we put out there. You can also, if you're on Facebook, you can follow me on George Asian. That's like the page, or follow the group. The group is called Public Speaking School Online, and then you get updated on the latest videos. We want to talk about something very important today. We want to talk about body language, the importance and the impact of your body in public speaking. And when we look at public speaking, we're actually looking at two things. First of all, we're looking at your tonality. When it comes to public speaking, we first look at tonality, how you sound. And people think that every time we speak, we should be thinking only about the contents, the words. But as a public speaker, someone who is interested in public speaking, the first thing you want to consider is how you sound, your tonality, or what we rather call your vocal variety, or what some people also call your expression, how you express yourself. What some other people will call prosody or inflection. How you sound, your tone constitutes 38% of the impact you have on any audience you're speaking to. The next important thing, or of course obviously number one, but we'll consider it second here, is your body language, how you use your body on the stage. And your body constitutes 55% of the impact you have on any audience will come from your body language. And then only 7% responsible impact comes from the words that you say. So a lot of times we put too much attention, we pay so much emphasis on the words and the content, and which is not bad, but realize that it only constitutes 7% of the impact you will have on any audience will come from your words, but your body language constitutes 55% and your tone constitutes 38%. So we're going to look at body language in public speaking, how it's important. Now, if you're taking down notes, write this down. People don't just want to hear you, they want to feel you. People don't just want to hear you, they want to see you. In fact, as a matter of fact, people will first see you before they hear you. And when they see you, they evaluate you. And what we don't realize is that our body language, or what some other people call our physiology, is speaking volumes. And it is constituting 58% of the impact we have on the audience. So I'd like you to quickly do this if you're writing. When we talk about body language, what are we looking at? Number one, we're looking at eye contact. Have you ever been told that if you're speaking anywhere, if you're speaking in front of a crowd, that you should look at the heads of the audience? You should look at the heads of the audience. Have you ever been told that before? And if anybody tells you that fact, I think you should tell the person, George Asian, who is a public speaking coach, say that is wrong. Whenever you are speaking to an audience, it's best that you look at people's eyes. We'll talk about that shortly. So in our body language classification, the first thing is your eye contact. Learn to look at people's eyes, because people's eyes mirror their emotions, and we can get feedback, we can get information whether the audience is getting along with your message or not. The second thing about your body language, classification that we must pay attention to, is our posture. Now, there is an executive pose. There's an executive pose. There is a pose that you have that is not right. So we have eye contact. We also have what is called a posture, an executive posture that is effective, that is good for you in speaking. The next thing that you want to consider carefully as part of your body language classification is the way you position your head position. Do you know, I listen to people speak and notice that they bob their head in this particular angle. they bob their head in this particular angle, or they tilt their head in this particular angle, and that is not right. Or they slouch. That is not good for you if you want to truly speak and make a lot of impact. Your head position should be straight. Try and train yourself to have it straight. Of course, also part of your body language classification are your arms, the angle of your body, your hand gestures. People want to stand stiff, but we say that use your hands and speak volumes with your hands, and of course your facial expression. So these are body language classification. So here's what you do whenever you speak. Your next event, your next speaking engagement. Divide your eye contact. What I mean by that is look at people consciously and get feedback from them. You don't only use eye contact to get feedback from the audience, you also transmit confidence, you also transmit courage and information through your eyes, because your eyes is the window to the soul. So divide your eye contact and make sure that you're passing across that information. Look at people, stare at people as you speak. The next thing you want to do to make sure that you're very impactful as you speak, remember that your body language constitutes 55%, is that you want to do a lot of gesticulations. I'm going to regulate how you gesticulate or gesticulate. British is gesticulate, American is gesticulate. I'm going to tell you how to regulate your gesticulation so that you're more effective in speaking. But remember that if you want to make impact, you've got to gesticulate. You can't stand in one position or put your hands in one particular position. You want to gesticulate. Let me give you a very important information that will help you, truly help you, and I'm going to expand on that later as we go on to speak, and that is to smile. One of the things that you're speaking to an unfamiliar audience, an audience you do not know, and that's the first time, and perhaps you are still feeling the jitters, you're still feeling butterflies in your stomach, and you're wondering, how do I deliver this presentation? You climb up that stage after doing all the other techniques that you should know about overcoming stage fright. The next thing to do is to smile. Someone says, the Chinese people says that the man who cannot smile should not open a shop. And someone also says that a smile speaks far better than a sermon. Or does it make sense to you? So a smile will disarm, literally disarm any difficult audience. Any difficult audience, a smile will disarm them. So smile. One other thing you want to do is keep your back straight. Keep your back straight. Why do you keep your back straight? You keep your back straight because you want free flow of air through your vocal cords. You want free flow of air through your vocal cords so that you can be more effective as you speak. You can project your voice stronger. Another thing you want to do with your feet that will make you have a lot of impact as a speaker is to bring movements to your speech. I trained a person a few years ago, an entrepreneur, businesswoman, great woman, and something I noticed about her rehearsals. She was doing public speaking practice with me. I noticed that she was pacing back and forth. Actually, she was moving forward and moving backwards, and it was very distracting. So I told her, why don't you just stay in one spot and then move with your hands? And as she mastered speaking, I taught her to start bringing movements to her speech, so that every time she wanted to say the first point, she'll move a little bit, and she moved to the second point, she'll move a little bit. She was able to move purposefully and objectively. That really helped her to speak better. So movement in your speech will help you to get you across to your audience. All right, so one other thing that you want to do that will give you such amazing impact on the audience is to be calm and demonstrate authority as you stand and speak, and then finally encourage participation. Now, why are we emphasizing the impact, talking about these details about your body? And this thing I just mentioned is put together by IBCT. IBCT is the International Board of Certified Trainers. That's what they think that you should do with your body as you speak, because 55% of the impact you have on any audience will come from your body. Does it make sense to you? All right, so we're going to go on to talk right now about speaking to small audiences and speaking to bigger audiences. If you are speaking to a huge audience, a big audience, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to use bigger gestures, gesticulate some more in order to be visible and make impact. If you're talking to a group of 100, you can afford to use not be very animated or not use too much of gestures. But if you're speaking to a crowd of 1,000, a crowd of 2,000, the gestures need to be larger and bigger. So important. One other thing you want to do is that you don't want to use you don't want to show close-handed gestures. This is what I mean by close-handed gestures. Either you're folding your hands like I'm doing right now, or you're folding your hands like this when you speak, even if by putting by your side, that's clenching your hands. All of that is a no-no. It shows that you're defensive and doesn't allow you to connect with your audience. So you want to do a lot of open-handed gestures. You speak like this with your hands open to people so that you can gain more trust and rapport with the audience. For those of you who are my students, you will know that communication, real communication, begins with connecting with the audience. That's where you want to start. Now, body language isn't just for your presentation, it's also to read the audience along the way. When you're speaking, you want to be sensitive to the movement of the audience. For example, if you are listening to the audience and they're leaning back like I'm leaning back, it just simply means that they're evaluating what you are saying and trying to consider whether what you're saying makes a lot of sense. If, however, they are leaning forward towards you while you're speaking, or putting their hands this way or this way, it means that they're interested and they need more information. All right, so people's facial expressions and people's tilt of their body, people's gesticulations, even as you speak, can help you understand whether the audience is going along with you. So we use body language not just for our own presentation, not just to be impactful. We also use our body language of the audience to determine whether we are making sense at all. So our body, or what we call our physiology, plays a major role in our speaking. Now, let me say this to you, for those of you who suffer from stage fright. You must understand that there is a big relationship between your mind and your body. A lot of things that happen in your mind affects your body. So if you are sad, it's actually showing. It's going to, because you see your emotions are buried in your body language, and your body language is an expression of your emotions. So I can look at the movement of your body. I can look at the way you move and say, oh, this guy is not feeling too good. This guy is feeling sad. So there's a tie, there's a nexus between your mind and your body. So you can actually use your body not just for your presentation and to read the audience. You can also use your body to improve your self-confidence. And when we teach on the subject how to overcome stage fright, we go deep down into how to use your body to develop a lot of self-confidence. All right, so but if you want to get a video on that, you can go to my YouTube channel, George ACN, and look out for how to overcome stage fright. There's a lot of material on that will be given to you. If you send a message to me, I'll also send you a free audio that teaches you step-by-step process on how you can overcome stage fright and deliver top-notch speeches. All right, one of the things you must also understand about body language in public speaking is that your appearance is part of your language, your body language, the speaking of your body. And appearance is actually your first impression, your first introduction, your first opening, your first privacy is the way you appear, the way you dress. So you want to be particular about your dress. One of the things you can do to add confidence to yourself as you speak is to dress very well. When you dress well, have you ever dressed so well and felt so good at how you look? To do the same thing to yourself as you go out to do that next presentation. Dress well. One of the things I do to myself, I'm speaking at a very big stage, I'll buy a new suit, a new tailored made suit, a customized suit that I like, and I'll wear it and I'll feel good. The moment I feel good, I know that I'm going to take that feeling to the stage or the podium and I'm going to deliver top notch. So your appearance is your first impression. You've got to be careful. So avoid wearing wrinkled dresses, and it's best to do formal dress or business suits. Empty your pockets, leave your bag at your seat. If you're a lady, go on a decent color. Tailored suit or dressing or look gives you more authority. Choose comfortable shoes if you're a lady. Of course, that's important. If you're standing and hanging your feet as a lady while you speak, that will affect your presentation, and so you want to be careful about that. Let me leave you today with 10 powerful body language tips for your next presentation. 10 powerful body language tips. Now, the idea is for you these are application tips. you can begin to use them like immediately. You can take down notes and say, okay, I'm going to highlight a few things, 10 things. I want you to pay attention to them and use them in your next presentation. Why are we focusing on our body language? Now you should know that 55% of the impact you have on any audience will come from the way you use your body on the stage. So let's look at number 1. What's the first body language tip I'm going to share with you? This is it. To boost your confidence during your presentation, this is what you should do. Open your chest and arms and keep your back straight. Keep your back straight and open your chest. This position will help you breathe better and you will feel more relaxed. A lot of us, when we're on stage, don't feel very relaxed. We feel jitters, and it affects our tonality, it affects the way we sound, it affects the way we project our voice, it affects our prosody. So just open your chest and your arms and keep your back straight. It will boost your confidence somewhat, and then it will help you to feel a lot relaxed. So that's body language tip number 1. Body language tip number 2 is to make the audience comfortable. Maybe you're looking at an audience and they're not comfortable, they don't know you, or they're not familiar with you, and you want to make them very comfortable. What you've got to do is you want to simply smile. To make your audience comfortable, simply smile at them. Smiling is our most powerful weapon as speakers. It doesn't matter how difficult they are, it doesn't matter where they're coming from. Smile and you will disarm any difficult audience. A good smile will keep yourself at ease and will also keep your audience at ease. I did a research recently, and it was by the American Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry. American Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry, and they said they did a research on the power of a smile. How that the smile can help you not just in public speaking but in life. They did a research on a number of people, I think close to 100,000 people, and asked a few questions, and they came up with some statistics that I'd like to highlight with you that will help you to make you understand that you need to do more smiling even in your everyday life. The first thing that we notice about smiling is that they found out that 57% of people say that a smile from a stranger makes them want to smile, and 41% say a smile from a stranger elevates their mood. Isn't that interesting? So 57% says that, look, whenever a stranger smiles at me, I smile back. You can even try it out. Go out there and smile at people, and you'll be shocked at the response you're going to get back. Do that in your next presentation. Smile at the audience, and you'll be surprised at how, of course, they will smile back at you. So they feel that their mood is elevated. 57%, according to the American Academy of Cosmetic Industry. They did research and realized that mood boost is one thing that happens to you or happens to the audience and to you when you smile. Number 2 is very interesting, very interesting. The research has it that smiling can add 7 years to your life. That research found out that they said smiling can add at least 7 years to your life. We're always frowning, always with a serious face, but it's really good to realize that smiling at people and smiling at the audience can add 7 years to your life. And I think that it comes from this hormone in the body, biochemical in the body, called endorphin. Endorphin is a healing hormone. It heals our cells, it restores us, and whenever we smile or we laugh, that hormone is released into our body and helps us to feel better, feel good, and makes us healthier. They also did the research and realized that 88% of respondents say that smiling makes them feel good. Happiness is one thing that smile gives you. Happiness is one thing that smile gives you. The research also went on to say that 92% of respondents believe that a smile is a great way to brighten someone's day. You want to brighten a person's day, a smile will do that for you. And this is also very interesting. It says that people believe, according to that research, people believe a great smile makes a person look and feel their best, make them look and feel their best. So attractiveness, you're not truly attractive until you wear that smile. You need to wear that smile. As you speak, you look better. You look a lot better in your speaking. And finally, they also said that overall health is made better by a smile. Smiling can boost your immune system. Wow. This research was done by the American Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry, and they're saying that a smile can boost your immune system. So what are we saying? We're saying that if you're speaking, you want to do more smiling. And it's a tip, it's a body language tip. So So let's go to number 3. Body language tip number 3. To engage people, all right, to engage people, gesture with your arms and hands in a natural way and look at your audience. Don't buy into that myth. Don't buy into that lie that you must look at the heads of people. Open your arms and hands in a natural way. Look at the eyes of the audience, because people tend naturally to pay attention and to like people who look them in the eye. So people like you when you look them in the eye and relate them. So eye contact that is too short appears as though you're watching the audience. When you look at people quickly and move away, and your eye contact is too short, it feels like you are watching the audience and you don't feel good about it. So aim to have meaningful eye connections with one person at a time. What we suggest in public speaking is that as you look at the person, give 3 to 6 seconds. As you look at the person, you move to the next person, and on at a time. Use your eye contact to also get feedback. Eye contact to get feedback on your audience, on how your audience are faring and how they're feeling and how they're doing, especially as regards to your presentation. So your eye contact is very important. Let's go to number 4. To demonstrate body language tip number 4. To demonstrate authority as a speaker, you want to keep calm. Keep calm. And your mind responds to your body. So keep calm, stay calm on that podium. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Keep calm as you give the presentation. And as you begin, you can use small and stiff gestures. This way, people will trust you and view you as a confident person. That's body language tip number 4. Body language tip number 4. Let's go to body language tip number 5. I already discussed this earlier, but I want to repeat it for emphasis. And to bring movement to your speech, use your physical space. Now, in ideal settings, in ideal public speaking settings, there is no lantern. There's no, like what we call the altar in church. There's no lantern. So there's that space there. And you have all that space. People stand in one particular position. You're not supposed to stay in one particular position. You have all of that space to yourself. So use it. But of course, in moving, walk purposefully. Look at what my slide says. It said, for example, if you're presenting 3 points, talk about point A when you are at your first position, then move out to 2 or 3 steps and talk about point B. This way, movement that includes space will accompany your speech. You need to move objectively and purposefully. Don't move erratically. Don't pace back and forth. Move with purpose, because movement in your speech adds dynamism. Movement to your speech also is like a style in speaking. Have you noticed? Okay, I'm going to go to that point later and we'll talk about it. Okay, let's look at number 6. Body language tip number 6. Body language to keep your audience's attention. To keep your attention, then you want to vary your gestures throughout the presentation. Open gestures, small gestures that involve your head, your arms, your hands, just so that you can engage them some more. So you don't want to keep doing one particular, maybe you're just doing this as you speak. Come on, that's not good. You want to vary. So you're looking for something to write. Vary your gestures, your head movement. Do that. Smile, frown, your tonality, modulate. All of this adds to the effectiveness of your presentation. So varying your gestures is very, very important as a body tip that you can add. So let's go to number 7. Now, for those of you who have presentations you do with slides, in ideal situations where you are speaking at a conference and then you have to use a slide, you don't want to back your audience. It's an error to back your audience. Backing your audience is a cardinal sin, is a major error in speaking. So what do you do as a speaker? You are supposed to point at that, the slide, point, and once you raise up your hands to point, all right, you draw the attention of the audience wherever they are to look at what you are talking about. So to draw attention to certain elements of the presentation, point directly at it and look at it on the screen. At the same time, the audience will follow your hands and your eyes and your fingers. Does it make sense to you? So don't back your audience. It's not smart to back it. Let's go to number 8. We're looking at 10 powerful body language tips that you should engage. To encourage audience participation, this is what you need to do. And I'm sure that you have noticed it even among top speakers. Do you want to know what it is? I'll tell you. To encourage audience participation, use open gestures and, if possible, walk around towards the people. Now, I've been in meetings, big meetings, where the podium and the platform is very far away from the audience. And so you're just far away speaking and then doing a lot of animation so that you can reach out to them. And I'm thinking that's not the best way to connect to them. So one of the things I do is that I leave the platform usually and I will come down towards the people and speak to them. That way, I'm a lot more impactful. So if you can, walk around towards the people. Have you seen speakers do that before? I'm sure you have. Have you also seen preachers do that a lot? I'm sure you've also seen speakers go to the audience and sometimes touch some individuals, because we tend to participate more when we have proximity with a speaker, when there's proximity to that speaker, with that speaker. When there's closeness, there's the energy that you have, is felt by the audience when you're closer to them. So you want to use open gestures, and then you want to walk closer. Okay, let's go to number 9. Now, in most public speaking engagements that you'll have, there will be the Q&A segments where people ask you questions, and sometimes they may ask you a very difficult question. And you don't want to, and sometimes you didn't cover that presentation, you didn't cover that in your presentation. I tell people that when it comes to speaking on any subject matter, you've got to over-prepare. You've got to have, of course, you cannot cover or exhaust everything you want to share in that presentation, but you've got to really have more information that you require. You deliver what you have to deliver, and then you still have some remaining. When people ask you questions, a body language tip that I'll suggest is you pause, breathe in slowly, take time to relax, and then try to process what you've been asked. You see, that will give you time to answer the question. And when you want to answer the question, look directly at the person's eye, the person who is asking the question, look at the person's eye and give him back your answer. And if you don't know a question asked you during the Q&A after a presentation, what should you do? I'll tell you what to do. It's very easy, very easy. What you simply do is, give your own opinion, your own thoughts, and tell them, you get back to them to give them more information. Never tell the audience you don't know, because the audience see you as an authority. So you give your own opinion or your own thoughts, and then tell them, you get back to them with more information and clarity. You can give them your email or your phone number where they can chat you up on WhatsApp or something, and then you give them more information about the question that they ask. Okay, so never tell the audience that you don't know. You're not even supposed to apologize to your audience, because your audience already see you as an authority. So the last point for today, body language tip that I want to suggest to you is I like this part so much. This is so very important, and I want to appreciate those of you who are watching this Facebook Live and those of you watching on YouTube. Well done. And that's what this is all about. Number 10 body language tip is to make your audience buy your story and to feel you. You've got to do a lot of, nodding, open gestures, smiling, mirroring, thumbs up. You've got to praise and encourage the audience. Wow, that's good. You look and say, oh, that's a good comment. That's a good comment. So I tell audiences, it depends on the public speaking setting. If you're doing facilitation, sometimes you may need to speak with the audience. You need to speak with the audience and not speak to the audience. What does it mean to speak with the audience? It's as you get in interactions, Also, that's a good point. Can we just clap for him? Can we clap for him? Wow, that's amazing. Wow, thumbs up, sir. Thumbs up, sir. All right. Somebody gives you feedback, and you're like, wow, that's nice. You're smiling, you're nodding, you're shouting. Whoa. You can do all of that. The idea basically is to, give them these affirmations to the audience. This nodding, this open gesture, this smiling, this mirroring will make them have an experience of you. Why do we involve our body language in our presentation? Why do we do that? Because 55% of the impact we have on any audience will come from our bodies. The way we use our body, we use our face. We looked at the body language classification. And while words are important and the content are important, we often say that in public speaking, content is not king. It's just prince. Delivery is king. Elocution is king. People don't just want to hear you, they want to feel you. So you may have all of the knowledge and all of the intelligence, and then you do a poor job as a speaker because you didn't deliver. So you need to focus more on delivery. And to focus more on delivery, you want to think critically about your language, your physiology, and of course your tonality. Because if 55% of your language, of your impact is from the body, all right, and 38% is from your vocal variety, if you add those two together, you have 93%. 93% of the impact you will have on any audience will come from your body. So why not pay attention to how you use your body on stage? Be careful about it, because people don't just want to hear you, they want to experience you, they want to feel you, and those are the moments they will take home. Oftentimes it's not the content of the speakers that we take home, it's the experience, it's the experiences, the way they use their body, the way they demonstrated to us. And that's one of these days. I think I also have that video on YouTube. I'll be teaching you icebreakers. Icebreakers are facilitation methods that help the speaker to demonstrate, not just tell, but show. Because people want to see, they retain more of the information that they see than they hear. So you want to bring, you want to demonstrate, you want to use speaking props. You want to be able to demonstrate what you are speaking about so that you're more impactful. People won't forget what they see. Imagine if you did a demonstration, you spoke, you did a demonstration. That would be a lot more impactful. Imagine if you did something like an illustration. You brought out a few folks to come out and you did an illustration while you were doing your presentation. That would be a lot more impactful. People will forget everything, but they will not forget those experiences from your tonality and from your body language. Did this make sense to you? So go out there in your next presentation and be conscious of your body. Be conscious of how your body language classification. We looked at body language classification. We said eye contact, the way you move your head, your posture, because it constitutes 55%. And we also failed to add your appearance, the choice of color, because it's the psychology of colors. And colors give us memories. Colors give us experiences. The choice of color that you're using, is also very important. Be particular, and you want to mirror. You need to use the word mirror. You want to mirror the audience. You're speaking to conservative people, dress conservatively. You're speaking to lawyers, dress like a lawyer would dress, the black and the white. You're speaking to bankers, dress with blacks. You're speaking to CEOs or executives, dress the way executives dress. You're speaking to very average people, dress their dreams, color, mirror their dreams, dress the way they want to dress in the future. You're speaking to young people, wear t-shirts, or jeans, dress like them. Because you see, the number 10 point we mentioned, body language tip, emphasizes that you want to keep nodding, open gestures, smiling, and mirroring your audience to be a lot more impactful. So my name is George Asian, and I'm delighted to have been with you to spend these few minutes sharing some body language tips in public speaking. I hope you got value. I'll see you some other time. God bless.